there we are. Hi, everybody. If you're watching on replay, please give us a hashtag replay. Today, I am joined by the beautiful Emma Rowley, who is going to tell us all about her business and also about audience attraction and basically how you felt about audience attraction. But before we get into all of that, do you want to give an introduction and let people know who you are?
Okay, my name's Emma Rowley. I'm currently a VA mentor, but I am slightly changing to sort of be mentoring other online business owners, not just VAs. So that's all quite an exciting change that's happening. And I'm currently just about to finish, fingers crossed, if I actually do the work correctly, audience attraction.
Yeah. So we've had an amazing couple of days with the launch of audience attraction. People are jumping in this year and investing in themselves, and it's been really actually quite beautiful to see, because I think across the whole online space, there's so many things that are happening right now. It can be difficult to know where to focus your direction and like where to focus for your business, and people are recognizing that this is a really good move. So I've been so excited, and it's so lovely to be able to connect to you guys who've actually done it, because it's fine me saying that it's a great course and that it is our best selling course and that it changes people's lives and businesses, but you know, I could just be trying to get people on it, it needs to be people who've actually done it to give an idea of whether it would be worth it for that person who is perhaps watching and currently on the fence. So I mean, in terms of social media, how do you feel about social?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of a sort of a love-hate relationship with social media. Obviously, I know how important it is for an online business. But days when I'm feeling a bit like, I'm a bit overwhelmed with it, I just sort of draw away from it. But it doesn't usually last long. But I think doing this course has made me realise, the different aspects and how it can be used in different ways, if that makes sense. And I found it really useful for the insights. That's the main reason I wanted to do it, was for my business to sort of to know how to use it better for my business. And I think, it makes me feel a lot more confident in using it now.
Yeah, I love that. And you know what's really funny is that, as business owners, we create these pages and the platforms give us this data, but actually until you learn what that data means, or even what you should do when you've got that data, it's a little bit like looking at something blind. I mean, I had a conversation with my accountant this morning, and they were like, oh, the reason why it's like this is because of this, and I just don't get it. And it would be like me going and trying to do my accounting and trying to figure everything out. Like, I can see the numbers, but it makes no sense to me. And that is so often what people feel like with their own insights and metrics. Like, they can see it, but what does it really mean? Like, what does it actually mean? And surface level, people are like, oh, well, I know that I need good engagement and I really want good reach, but they don't know what the next steps need to be. They haven't got those things. It's like just looking at a blank report and not really knowing what to do with it. So that's a really good point that you make, actually, darling, because until you have a good understanding of what they mean and what you can actually use them for, they're a bit useless. If anything, they can be a bit of a stick that you beat yourself with when they're not in the green.
No, definitely. I've really enjoyed it, and I've known you for a while, and I've sort of, so that when the opportunity came up to work with you, I thought, yeah, definitely. And I've enjoyed the group. The group's been a really nice group as well.
Yeah.
And the weekly calls, I really enjoyed those. And I only missed one at the end. I was so annoyed.
Just the one. You did so well. You did so well with the live calls. No, it has been a really fantastic group. And I should probably caveat that you have actually done the higher level of audience attraction, not the one that's currently open. You've done the certified level. So you and the amazing women that were on there will be a certified social media manager. Not necessarily just, I know you've been able to use it for your own business as well, which is fantastic. But you will also be able to advise on that social media manager level.
Definitely.
Yeah, you'll be able to take that and use that for supporting other people in your business forevermore, which is so lovely. But what's really good about that is that you have everything that is covered in this audience attraction, and a little bit more insight into what it actually takes to run successful social media campaigns, which so many people believe if they've done a course before, or they've bought some content calendar with awareness days on, or if they've got a planner for journaling things that they might want to talk about, that they'd have this covered. But in terms of from our world, from a digital marketing perspective, that's just not how it works, is it?
No, definitely not. No, there's a lot more that goes into it. And I think it's sort of like pieced it all together. It's like the jigsaw piece fit together now, whereas I was just sort of posting and hoping for the best. There's a lot more strategy. I've got a lot more knowledge of the strategy behind it all now. So
yeah.
And
do you feel like it will inform the way that you run your business, not just how you can help other people with their clients, but do you think it will inform you how you run yours?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And it already has. Some of the tools I've got from the course I've used already, and it's definitely, because a lot of time I was just posting and hoping. There was no, it's like, oh, I'm going to post this today, but there was no reason behind why I was posting that. It was just what I felt like posting. Whereas now I've got a sort of a more of a defined strategy laid out. So
yeah.
So it helps me feel confident. Do you know what I mean? That I know what I'm doing a lot more now. So
yeah, and it covers it as well. So if you do ever have those times where actually you're feeling you want to retreat because of how noisy social can be, you know that you can do that, and your business isn't going to suffer. Which I always think is such a wonderful thing, because if you're concerned over whether the clients are still going to be served, whether people are still going to want to work with you, then that just causes even more stress and overwhelm. And that probably will stop you from getting back into it even further, right?
No, definitely. It keeps you being consistent, and doing audience attraction has definitely made me realise the importance of that, but doing it in a way that isn't just sort of, I was going to swear, but I don't really like swearing, but like kissing in the wind almost. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. Somebody once described it as, she said, before I met Joe, my social media was throwing darts in the dark.
Yeah, exactly that.
And then like switching the light on and hoping that
someone's hit.
Yeah, like where did I hit? Which I always thought was a really good analogy.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But I think, at the end of the day, it's about understanding what you actually want to achieve from it, because you can spend a lot of time on social not actually creating that business traction that you're looking to achieve, and it's such a shame, because if you think about how much you want to, you would charge somebody for an hour of your time, for instance, and then you think about how many hours you're wasting on social when you don't have that knowledge. It's a bit of a travesty of the opportunity cost. In terms of that, it's just so difficult.
No, it is. It's been eye-opening and very interesting. So
I'm so glad that you loved it. So one of the main things that people worry about at this time of year, when audience attraction opens, there will be people watching right now that want to join us but are a bit scared of the time commitment. I was trying to think of the word then. The time commitment. And obviously my whole thing is, if you give me 12 hours over the 12 weeks, I'll give you 12 hours a month back. How did you find the length of the trainings and what you had to do in between? Were they taxing, or were you all right with it?
No, I was, it was easily manageable for me. So it was an hour a week on Zoom calls, and then there was a little bit of work to do, but nothing, it didn't bog me down or anything. I didn't get stressed about it at all. And because it's something I enjoy doing and I wanted to learn, it wasn't like it wasn't a big...
It wasn't a chore.
Yeah, it wasn't a chore. No, It was enjoyable. It wasn't like work anyway, but no, definitely not, definitely wouldn't worry about, I'd say, an hour maximum a week, probably, I would have said.
Yeah, that's about what it is, isn't it? And I think a lot of the time it's difficult for us if we've got a lot going on to give ourselves that time. But actually, it's focusing on the right things that unlocks more time.
Yeah,
So in terms
definitely.
of when you're doing your social now, if you were to batch it, you could probably get through it much faster with
Yeah.
the information you now have than you
Yeah.
would have done if you were doing that same task before audience attraction.
And it's sort of limiting, because I know that everybody, and I'm sure everybody that watches this, is guilty of just scrolling endlessly on social media. So, stop doing that, focus on doing the work, and it'll be all worth it in the end, definitely.
I love that. That's actually a really good point. Like, just make me your Netflix once a week
Yes.
for a few weeks. Or, instead of doom scrolling at the moment, something I keep falling into the trap of.
Yeah.
On Twitter, my Twitter page is just reshare of everything that's going on in the world. And you're right, actually. If you were actually to stitch those moments of time together, like how much of that could you actually put towards doing something positive that doesn't just affect your business today, it's actually going to inform your business forever.
For the future, and yourself, because I think it gives you confidence that you know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Because you've done a course. I mean, I love doing courses and programs. I always have done, but because it gives me the confidence to actually think, oh, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing now. Which benefits, and then it gives you like good energy. I'm all about energy and good vibes, and it gives you that in your business, I think.
It works. It does work. I mean, I say this often, but energy is everything. And if you're going to write that post and you're not sure about whether you should or whether it's right or whether it will hit, and even just the freeze of, oh, am I overthinking this too much? You've wasted all of that time. That could have been 2 or 3 really impactful posts that, if you had the main strategy behind it, would actually give you everything you needed. It wouldn't be a case of, what should I post today? How can I connect with people? It would be a case of, I know exactly what we're saying today. I know exactly what I need to do. And it becomes really, really easy. Morning, Nick. Good morning, darling. Another previous alumni. I'm going to have to make a club for you guys, because there's literally hundreds of you now. I'm going to have to make like an annual get together for all previous audience attraction alumni, because it is turning into a bit of a movement. I love it. So, I mean, in terms of the people who are on the fence right now, what would your advice be for them?
Well, just 3 words. 3 words. Just do it. I haven't got any other really, advice to give. If you're sitting on the fence, then I just think, if it feels right to you, I always think, trust your gut. And if it feels right in your gut, just go for it. Don't overthink it, because you won't regret it. There's nothing that you will regret about doing it, because the information that you will get from it, will help you with confidence in both yourself and your business. So, what have you got to lose, really? That's all I'd say. What have you got to lose? Just do it.
So, what was your favourite bit? Have you got a bit that you liked?
I was thinking about that earlier, actually. I think the sort of, I enjoyed the data, the insight-y stuff. I think, is that on this one as well? Do you do all about insights?
It's slightly different. So obviously, as a social media manager, you will have to understand the insights to change the strategy. And although it is similar, it's slightly less tech scary on this version, because people don't need to go into it to that level.
No, but you still need to. It's still interesting to know.
There. And that you've highlighted a really interesting point, actually, because people are always concerned about performance and metrics. And one of the things that comes through a lot when people have finished AA is that they're actually super chuffed that the metrics now don't mean whether they've done good or they've done bad. They just mean they've got information to know what to do next. They've taken that pressure off over performing in a particular way, and instead they can, even if the numbers are not what they want them to be, that data is invaluable. They know exactly what to do with it for the next part of the strategy, which again, it's so empowering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was definitely my part, my favourite, although I did enjoy all of it, but that was definitely my favourite part of it.
You're so lovely. I enjoyed having you on it. It was fabulous.
Oh,
I really enjoyed. I mean, the thing that was lovely about this last intake is that we had a lot of people that we knew in that group, and a lot of your people in there, which was fabulous. Because I think it really does make a massive difference, the vibe of the caliber of the people that you're on the course with. And one of the things that people perhaps don't understand about audience attraction is that it's not a big course in terms of numbers, because we do have to go a little bit deeper on strategy, because we do have to talk about things that are a bit more bespoke. That we have limited spaces, so that I have enough bandwidth, for lack of a better term, to be able to support everybody who's on it. So you're never going to find, like 200 people on this course, because that would be far too many for me to support through it at one given time. So how did you find it, with it being a bit more intimate?
I liked that. I personally prefer that, because I think you can get to know other people better. I mean, like you say, I did know a few anyway, but I think it kind of makes it feel more, not safer, but more of a nice community, I think. Yeah, so
it works for this particular course, doesn't it? I mean, some, there's other courses out there that are amazing that you can get away with higher numbers on.
Yeah, definitely. But I think for this, it is.
For this one, it's just not possible.
No,
I couldn't do it. You'd have to clone me 2 or 3 times over to be able to make it work if we did it that way. All right, my darling. So if you had one big tip to give anybody watching before we go away and let people think about it, what would that be?
Well, if they've got any doubts, to speak to you. That was one big tip I would give. Well, if you've got time to speak, but I think
people are worried. I mean, people worry about having chats because they think that perhaps I might try to shoehorn them into the course. But I think it's a really what's the right word? Like it's a really relevant.
Yeah, and I get that, but you're not like that. No, but you're not like that. I think if it's right for someone, and I think if it wasn't right for someone, you would say, well, actually, it's maybe not right for you at the moment, or whatever. Because you're very honest like that. So.
Yeah, and what's really funny is that this year, that's only happened once, and it happened to a lady yesterday who was just not quite in the right place for it. But up until that one chat, everybody that I'd spoken to absolutely would benefit. So it was really, we're starting to think, actually, we're not going to turn anybody away this time. That's weird for me. That's never happened before. But then we did have it, and the woman is absolutely fantastic. She's an amazing woman. But it is just not the right time for her. That did happen yesterday. And there's never going to be any kind of forceful nature with that. But I think it's a relevant thing to be worried about. I think in our industry online, it's so easy to feel like, actually, if I have that chat, then I'm obligated. And
oh my goodness, yeah.
Which is a hard position to be in, and it's actually not the energy that we'd ever want anybody to join, because you should feel good about it. And the people who've pressed the button and done it now are sending me messages saying, oh my God, I've done it, I'm so excited, I can't wait to get going. And that's exactly how we want people to feel.
Definitely
go into it.
With excitement. So what my biggest tip would be, if someone is sort of a bit doubtful, then to book a call with you and to have a chat and say what your worries are or fears or whatever. But there's definitely nothing to be worried about, and I would say go for it.
Well, I would too. Unsurprisingly. Why not? All right, my darling. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to cut it there, and hopefully we will be able to celebrate. Well, I'm saying hopefully. We've got loads of people. I'm so behind on celebrating the people who have joined. I'm like, hopefully we'll be able to celebrate. We've got loads of people to celebrate. And so we'll be doing that all day in the group today. And yes, if you're watching this on replay, please do give us a #replay. And if you want to chat to me, there is still time. One kind of little caveat whilst whilst I'm on video, I'm going to put it out there, is that on Monday when we close cart at 8 p.m. However, my little boy turns 5 on Monday, so what would normally be a day where I am available all day to chat to people right up until close cart, I'm only going to be available till 1:30 in the afternoon, because I will be spending the rest of the day with my baby boy turning 5 at school, and also at a screaming play place, which is going to be fantastic, I'm sure. You will be able to still join. You'll be able to click the button and you'll be able to access my team, but you won't be able to speak to me, unfortunately. If there's anyone watching and who wants to speak to me on Monday, we'll get it in before then. All right, so thank you so much, Emma. It's been really lovely to have you on. I really appreciate it, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.